Thousands of asylum seekers are now here in Western New York. This group arrived in Cheektowaga on a bus from New York City. Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz says his office is not releasing which hotel the group is staying at for security purposes. And he says there will be security on hand there. He also says each person who arrived in our area has been legally vetted by federal authorities. Well, joining me now via Zoom is immigration attorney Rosanna Berardi. She has a lot of experience in this area. Rosanna, thank you. You are a specialist in immigration law, and I realize you may not have enough information yet, but these 50 people who arrived in Erie County last night, are they immigrants? Are they migrants? Are they asylum seekers? Are they illegal immigrants? What would you term them?
Well, thanks for having me. Always great to be here. It's really unclear. There's all these terms used interchangeably. Professionally, I would call them migrants. They've migrated from one place to another. We do not believe their status to be legal or lawful, but upon filing for an asylum application, they do become pending asylum applicants.
Okay. If they are seeking asylum, which is what we've been told, what is the process for that? And is that process already underway?
So I'm not sure if it's underway. If the county executive is saying they've been vetted, that tells me it may be underway. And the process is, upon arrival, you file a paper application with U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. It goes all through the mail, and it has information about, your biographical info as well as your basis for asylum, which has to be a well-founded fear of persecution based on race, religion, nationality, member in a social group, or I forgot the fifth one.
Okay, and my understanding is that really a small percentage of people who seek asylum in this country will be granted that asylum. Is that correct? And also, how long do you expect this process to take?
Well, I hope you're sitting down. Asylum applications are taking 4+ years to be reviewed by the Immigration Service. And in terms of levels of approvals, the government doesn't really release that data forthcoming, but we've heard it is in the single digits. So the asylum system has been overwhelmed and broken for decades, and we're really just seeing the bubble burst right now, where we've got so many people overwhelming the system. Congress needs to step in and fix this immediately.
And Rosanna, are you suggesting then that these people who arrived here last night in Cheektowaga and are being put up in a hotel there might be waiting 4 to 5 years here in this area for a determination on their future?
That's correct. Based on what I know, the hotel has been rented or leased for 1 year. And I think the basis of that is upon filing for that asylum application, within about 9 months, an applicant will get a work permit, meaning they can work anywhere in Western New York. And then there will probably be agencies stepping in, helping them with housing. So yes, indeed, they can certainly be in the area. Western New York isn't new to influxes of immigrants. This is just different because it comes from New York City. We're not really sure. The government hasn't been very transparent in terms of the situation, the status. So there's just a lot of unanswered questions.
All right, you did answer one of my questions, which was, can they legally work while they're here? Are they eligible for government assistance like food stamps? And what happens if they commit a crime?
So if they commit a crime, they can definitely be removed from the United States. We have removal proceedings. There's immigration judges in the area that can definitely do that. In terms of public assistance, that's a muddy answer. The answer is they can receive some assistance, but they have to be careful because when you apply for a green card application, there's a question about whether you have received public assistance. And if you say yes, that can be a problem. So that's a really unclear answer at this point.
Wow. And Rosanna, you're an expert in this, and you've already said to us a number of times there are unclear areas here. If they are granted asylum, how long does asylum last? Can they apply to become a citizen? How does that work?
So if the asylum application is indeed granted, then they are positioned to file for a green card. Green card is lawful permanent residence, meaning you can live and work in the U.S. permanently and can ultimately lead to U.S. citizenship. So there is definitely a path for citizenship, but it's very long and arduous. And I think, Jackie, a lot of the confusion is just the unknowns and the government's not being transparent. I understand security. I understand that all day long, but it just would be nice to know, have applications been filed, have security checks been done. I think that would just solve a lot of the angst and anxiety around this situation.
All right, Rosanna, we will work to get those answers. Absolutely. We'll keep asking. And what you've described is a very long timeline. So I have a feeling we'll be talking more in the future, Roseanne. Thank you
Happy
so
to do so.
much. Thank you. I
My
appreciate
pleasure.
it.